Hey, welcome. Today, we are going to tackle something huge for anyone learning a language, and that's building the confidence to actually speak. We're going to break down that fear and give you some real tools to help you find your voice.
So, does this sound familiar? You've studied the grammar, you've got all this vocabulary packed in your head, but the moment comes to actually open your mouth, you just freeze up. Listen, you are definitely not alone, and today we are going to lay out a clear step-by-step plan to change that for good. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll get to know the speaking fear. Then, we'll talk about why you need to embrace your mistakes. After that, we'll get into building daily habits, putting it all into action, and wrapping up with the most important idea of all, focusing on progress, not perfection. All right, first step, the speaking fear. Before we can fight this thing, we've got to understand what we're really up against. See, at its heart, the problem isn't that you don't know enough. It's the fear, right? The fear of being judged, of sounding silly, or just that basic shyness of putting yourself out there. And that feeling is totally normal, but it's also the biggest wall between you and speaking fluently. So, how do we start knocking that wall down? Well, it doesn't start with grammar books. It starts with your mindset. We have to completely change how we think about making mistakes. This is the first real step to building confidence. And here's a simple but honestly a powerful truth. Think about it. Even native speakers make mistakes all the time. Just listen to anyone speaking their own language, and you'll hear them stumble or correct themselves. Mistakes are just a normal part of talking for everybody, not just for learners. So here's the big takeaway. Every single time you try to say something and a mistake pops out, you haven't failed. Not at all. You've actually taken a super important step forward. Those mistakes, they're just little signs pointing you where you need to improve. They are proof that you're trying, and trying is the only way this works. Okay, so now that we've reset our mindset, it's time to get practical. This part is all about building tiny, daily habits that'll make speaking English feel less like a big, scary performance and more like, just something you do. These 3 steps, this is your new daily workout. Seriously, reading out loud gets your mouth comfortable making English sounds. Talking to yourself, just describing your day, is a totally zero-pressure way to practice making sentences. And that last one, listen and repeat, it helps you soak up the natural rhythm of the language. Now, that listen and repeat exercise is really key. If you want to take that to the next level, and I mean really improve your flow and sound more natural, there is an amazing technique you have got to know about. It's called shadowing, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You're not just repeating words, you become a shadow of the speaker. You copy their music, their pauses, their energy. I'm telling you, this is one of the fastest ways to make your own speech sound more fluid and natural. Okay, so once you're getting a little more comfortable talking to yourself, it's time for the next leap. Section 4 is all about putting this practice into play with actual people. Finding a language partner for some easy, low-pressure chats is an absolutely fantastic way to practice. But what if that's not an option? No partner? No problem. Here's another super powerful trick. Become your own speaking partner. Just record yourself on your phone talking about anything for a minute or 2. Then listen back. You'll become your own best coach, noticing where you get stuck or how you could have said something a little differently. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most important section of all. This is the mindset that's going to keep you going, especially when things feel a little tough. Look, confidence doesn't just show up one day like a package in the mail. It's something you build, piece by piece, with every tiny victory. Did you manage to order a coffee in English? That's a win. Celebrate it. Did you get the joke in a TV show? That's a win. Did you have a 30-second chat with someone? That is a huge achievement. You got to celebrate that stuff. And this, right here, is the big mental switch. The perfection mindset, it demands you're fluent right now and sees every little mistake as a failure. It's just a recipe for feeling frustrated. But the progress mindset, it's so much more powerful. It turns mistakes into tools. It focuses on improving step by step, and it celebrates what you can do today. This is the mindset of a confident speaker. So let's end with a challenge. Not about next month, not about next year, just about today. What is the one thing, just one, that you are going to say out loud in English today? Go start there, and believe me, you are already on your way. Thanks so much for joining me.